Hey everybody, welcome to Board Game Heaven. In this episode I'm going to talk about Mighty Monsters, designed by Desnet Amane, published by Queen Games. And this is a card game in which you're all playing monsters, and well, it has very interesting art as well. So let's open up the box, see how it plays, and then I'll tell you what I think about it. Mighty Monsters by Queen Games, or Mächtige Monster. I have the German version, but the game is language independent, so all you really need is the rules. So let's take a look at the box. On the back here you can see it's a card game. There's a bit of the tiles that you play on depicted here. So let's open up the box and see what's inside. So first, here is a punch board, a double punch board with a part of the tile. It's a puzzle piece. I'll just lay that out there. There's lots of coins here, and these tiles as well. They're double-sided. And there's another punch board with all these coins in 2 and 10 values. Then we have here the castle. It's pretty fun, so that looks nice. Punches easily. So there we go. Alrighty. Oh, there's a token here as well. Don't forget to punch that too. So there. And another one here. And there you have your castle. Oh, actually there's another part that goes in between. There you go. And you can change that according to the number of cards you probably want to put there. So some extra coins in that one. The rule book, in this case the German rule book. It has nice artwork on the cover. It has these tiles that we just saw in detail. The rules are explained here. Lots of illustrations. In the typical Queen Games style. There's a simple insert in here, but it does have nice illustrations on it. And the cards of the game. So let's open those up. There we go. So we have cards with all kinds of different stuff on them. So we have these 3, these peasants. We have these cards in different colors. So we have red cards with all these dragons on them. That's pretty cool. Really like the artwork. And then these purple cards also with the undead on it. Pretty nice. The black cards have these demons. Cool artwork, and all of them are different. The yellow cards have the goblins on them, goblinkin. The blue ones have these fishmen, also very nice. And the green ones are these insect folk. And I'm really digging all these characters in the art. That's fantastic. So there's another deck of cards here. There we go, with more of those treasure chests. So that's all of those, and they have different characters on them as well. So we saw the peasant, and then they become stronger. So and they have better loot. So we have this archer, this joker, jester, the butcher, the guard, this swordsman, a dog, a gunner, a man with an axe. Here's a sorceress, paladin, sultan, some kind of vizier, and the magic user, a wizard, sorcerer, or an elementalist perhaps, because it's, you know, like lightning and fire. Here is a big noble looking knight. Okay, so those are these cards. Let's go to the setup. So the setup for Mighty Monsters is as follows. These castle tiles have nice numbers on them. The S is the starting tile. The E is the ending tile. And if you're playing a 3-player game, you just connect these and you've got 3 card slots. If you're playing a 4-player game, you add this one, you have an extra card slot. If you're playing a 5-player game, you add these 2. And if you're playing a 6-player game, you add them all. So let's say we're playing a 4-player game. You just connect these, and that is your castle. And you just put this one aside. You take your coins and you put them near to the treasury, and each player takes one of the factions of monsters, and that's 5 cards each, and they all take 8 coins as well, and one player takes the starting player marker. Then you take all these guards, all these protectors, the villagers cards, and you shuffle them. And these are the men that are going, and women, that are going to protect the king's treasury, because you, as the monsters, are going to want to try and steal as much treasure as you can from them. So you put these at the entrance, and then you take a number of cards equal to the slots and equal to the number of players, and you put them in the castle without looking at them. Then you take these tiles and you shuffle them, and they have a backside too, which are used in an advanced version of the game. So for now you just pick 6 of these. Instead of with a 5-player game you only need 5, but with 3, 4 or 6 players you just take 6, 4, 5, 6. So, and you place them near the king. And then each player just takes their cards, all 5 of them, and you shuffle those, and you take 3 of them in your hand and put the others face down in front of you, and that's how you start the game. Okay, so the goal of this game is to grab as much gold from the king's treasury as you can, but you have to cooperate with your other factions to beat the guards. And the back of the cards will say what level guard is underneath this card. So this is a level 2. You also have level 1 and level 3. And obviously the more stars they have, the stronger they are, but the more gold you can earn. So this guard on this card has a minimum strength of 3 and a maximum of 7, and will get you 6 to 10 gold. So let's have a sneak peek here. So this is a level 6 guard with a level 9 treasure. So it could be any one of those. And the idea is, so when you start playing, you can do, there's 3 phases. The first phase is to play your monster cards. So the ones you have on your hand, you can play them on an empty spot in clockwise order, starting with the first player. Or you can replace any monster with another monster from your hand, unless the maximum strength of that guard has been reached. So let's say it's my turn first. I've just played all the cards open right now. So I'm gonna go after the big treasure, and I've got a 3 here, and I need to cooperate with somebody else who's got maybe enough to beat him, to at least reach 5. Hopefully it is a 5, but we don't know that. So the second player might think, yeah, sure, I'm gonna go for that one as well, but I'm gonna play it safe, and I'm gonna add 4 to that, so our combined strength is 7, and then hope that's enough to beat that guard. But now the third player can say, well, screw that, I want that treasure, so I'm gonna play another monster, which he can do because the combined strength here is 7. If it was 9, then the guard would definitely be beaten, and then another player or yourself can't swap the monsters out anymore. But now this person maybe says, okay, well, I'm not confident that it's not a 9, so we're going to play a 5 here. So our combined strength is now 9. And then we will surely split that treasure because we're going to beat that guard. But because I've replaced this card with that monster, that player needs to pay gold. And you always need to pay gold equal to the number of stars, so the level of the guard. In this case, that's 3. And the way you do that is you take your gold, you pay 1 gold to the treasury, and the remaining gold to the person whose card you removed. So if it's just a level 1, you pay 1 gold to the treasury. If it's level 2, 1 gold to the treasury, 1 gold to the monster you replaced. And in this case it was 2 to the monster I replaced. You can also replace your own monster, and then you just need to pay 1 gold to the treasury, and that's it. So this continues until all the players have placed their cards. So this one was taken back. So let's say this player places a card over there. Then it's the first player again, and then we'll place one over here, and that one will place a card over here. That one will place a card over here. They will place a card here, and then finally the first player still has a card to play and will play. Well, we don't need a whole lot there, but this is all I have, so we're surely going to beat that guard. Place the last card over there. So when all players have played 2 of their monsters, then that round ends. And then the next phase starts, which is battling the guards. So what you do now is you flip over the first guard, only the first one. You flip it over and you check what it is. Now this is a guard that has 3 strength. The combined strength of these 2 monsters is 7, so it's more than enough. And this guard is defeated. The shared loot is 6 gold, so both the red and the green players each share their loot, and they both get 3 gold. So you take the gold from the treasury, give 3 gold to the red player, and 3 gold to the green player. So that guard is defeated. That means we can go on to the next guard. We flip that one over, and it's a butcher. He has 6 strength, and our combined strength with 9, so he's defeated as well. That's good. So 3 coins for the purple player and 3 coins for the blue player. Alright, on to the next one, which is a level 2 guard. Well, this guard has 7 strength, and their combined strength is 6, so that's not enough. So the guard defeats the monsters. At that point, the battle phase ends and we do not flip over any more additional guards because the monsters were collectively defeated. So that means this loot stays here, these 2 players do not get any gold, and their monsters are defeated. And also the next monsters are also defeated because this guard wasn't revealed. Everything next is defeated by the combined guards. So that means no loot is shared, plus the players have to pay the gold in this healing symbol here to the treasury to heal their monsters. So you just check how much that is. The purple player needs to pay 1 gold. The blue player needs to pay 1 gold. The red player needs to pay 2 gold. And the green player also needs to pay 2 gold. Now if you can't pay gold, you just pay what you have, and that's that. You'll be left with 0 gold, and you will have no additional penalty. So then you, at the end of that, you discard these guards. They just go away. And then there's 4 new cards laid down. Everybody takes back their monsters. You just take them back on your hand, and then you discard 2 of the monsters from your hand. You can choose which ones. You discard them and you pick these 2 that were still on the table, and then you remove one of these tiles, indicating that 1 round is over and you've got 5 rounds left. And the game ends when all the rounds have been played and all these tokens have been removed, and then you simply count up the amount of gold that you have, and the player with the most gold wins. And in case of a tie, then both players that tied win the game. Also, don't forget that at the end of each round, you pass on the first player marker to the next player in clockwise order. And there's also a couple of variants in the game. One of them is to place the guards that you draw in order of strength. So you always start with the lowest, then the middle, and then the highest, which adds a new dynamic to the game. So that's an option to play. And another option is to take these tiles and flip them around. And then you have different things that you can or cannot do each round. And they are explained in the rules. So here you see all these tiles explained. For example, this tile means that players cannot play a monster with a strength of 1. And here it says if 2 monsters lying next to a guard have the same strength, so A is B, the guard has +3 loot, which is interesting. And there's all kinds of different things. This one just says there's no rule. So that is all nice thing to mix the rules up. You've got a different thing that you need to take into account each round. So that's also fun. It's more like an advanced version of the game. And that's all the rules of Mighty Monsters. So my final thoughts on Mighty Monsters by Queen Games. Well, first of all, the artwork is very, very nice. I really dig the cartoonish style of the monsters. The cards are all very nice. The board is nice. It even has nice artwork on the back side of the board. The icons are very clear. They're very easy to recognize and simple. And all of these tiles are explained at the back of the rule book in one single sheet. So that's easy for reference. So all in all, graphically, this game looks very nice. It is also, the components are very nice and very good, as we are used to from Queen Games. The cards are normal. Nothing fancy. The cardboard is thick enough and these tiles are thick enough to be very sturdy as well. So in that regard, it's also a good game. The box is nice and decent. It's not bigger than it needs to be. Everything fits inside nicely. There's one thing though, Queen Games, please include a couple of Ziploc bags in your games that has tokens and cards. Because now once you open the cards from their shrink wrap and you punch all the tokens, you've got nothing to put them in. So all it would have taken was 2 Ziploc bags. So that's a little minor point there. Gameplay wise, the game is very easy to learn, easy to teach. It's for all ages and it plays fast, which is good. You don't have any downtime at all. You just play a card, other players play a card, and then you play your second card and that's it. And the only things you have to decide really is which number, which value of monster to play, and if you're gonna replace some other monster perhaps to increase your chances for gold. So all in all, it does what it needs to do. So in that regard, it's a good game. One minor thing though, these coins, that is a missed opportunity, Queen Games, because these are yellow chips with orange numbers on them. These are not coins. And with all this great artwork, why didn't you ask the artist to make coins in the 1, 2, and 10 value denomination, maybe even in copper, silver, and gold to actually look like coins? Because this, well, you've got plenty of them, and they're nice and thick. But that's a missed opportunity. Those could have been really cool looking coins, and that in this game would have been perfect in the graphic sense at least. But all in all, I do enjoy this game. It is a fun game. It does what it tells you it does. It's just a simple and quick card laying, bluffing, a little bit of push your luck in there. So in that regard, I give this a thumbs up. It's certainly something I would recommend trying. And well, that's what I think of Mighty Monsters. And so that was Mighty Monsters by Queen Games. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe and see you next time on Board Game Heaven.